Hey guys, today we'll be speaking with an investment banker by the name of George Michael. He has agreed to speak with us on behalf of the issue of white-collar crime, explaining a little bit more in depth and personal about how white-collar crime affects America and across the globe. So Mr. Michael, let's start off with the basics. What is white-collar crime?
Well, sweetheart, I ain't no expert, but I say this, the white-collared crime people are the people that wear the white collars.
What would lead someone to commit a white-collar crime? Why do you do what you do?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it crime. I would say that us as the 1% would be exploiting our resources, using whatever we can to make more money, so we can eventually give it back to you as parts on my private yacht.
Interesting response. But I am not talking about literal interpretation. I'm talking more about the social problem that is white-collar crime.
Well, to be perfectly honest, between me and you, it's all about the money. I'd say that 99% of the white-collar crime involves money or power. We, as the top 1%, are always being discriminated against, and we're just trying to gain our power and money back as quickly as possible, even though we haven't lost it. We're trying to get more of it.
So we've gone over a little bit about what causes it, but what do you think are some long and short-term effects of white-collar crime on society, on us people in general?
Well, I wouldn't say there were any effects. I would say the only effect would be that you, as the bottom 99%, would be eventually getting your money back. It's just being allocated to us as top priority, and then you guys get it when we pass it on. I would say this. One minor detail that we don't necessarily like to speak about is the fact that when we borrow the money, uh, sometimes people lose their jobs. Sometimes there are lawsuits and other people lose a lot of money. But then again, we are providing the cash for the lawyers. So we are always constantly bringing money in and out. I would say that it evens itself out.
No. You're dancing around the question. Come on, give me one solid answer. What are some effects of white-collar crime?
Straight down to business. I like that. I would say between me and you, and this has nothing to do with my corporation, the only thing that would be wrong with an effect of this would be that regardless of where the money goes, people are losing their jobs. And that's not a good thing. So really, in reality, it kind of balances itself out because we make a lot of money, we put a couple people out of work. It shifts, it always is shifting powers, but as long as the money remains with us, we're responsible, we know what to do with it.
So give me a straightforward minute and a half answer to this final question of mine. How do we solve the problem?
Well, if I wasn't in the top 1%, this is how I would try and solve the problem. I would attempt to make the government look at corporations much like corporations look at each other. So instead of corporations looking at people, corporations look like corporations that you can't purchase, but you can put in jail. What I mean by that is that when the government tries to step in and take a corporation to court, instead of settling with money, you settle with actual criminal punishment. We don't really learn our lesson if you just slap us with a fine because our wallets are huge. I mean, my wallet's so big I can't even fit it in my pocket. I mean, look at that. That's got thousands of dollars in there right there. That's in cash. So in terms of fines, you can slap me with as much fine as you want, but I'm just gonna keep stealing and stealing and stealing. So about the only way I'd say that you could possibly stop it would be to actually criminally charge me, put me behind bars. That would scare me enough to probably stop, but I wouldn't recommend doing that because...
Well, for one thing, I just wanted to say thank you to our special guest for giving us his input and his behind-the-scenes look at white-collar crime. I just wanted to take a moment and express my concern on this issue. I feel like white collar crime is a big deal in America. Since most of the world runs on money, I think that it's important that this money is coming legally and that people are earning their money. And I feel like the government does its best to dodge these situations when large corporations, especially Wall Street, the 2008 crash, a lot of people made a lot of wrong decisions and put a lot of people out of business. A lot of debt gathered in America, and these companies and corporations and people that did this, they just got slapped with a couple fines that they could afford this money, and not a single person ever went to prison for it. So I would say the biggest thing for me is that the government and the Justice Department needs to do a better job of putting these people in prison for what they're doing, and not just trying to slap people with fines all the time. Well, anyway, I just want to take a moment and say thank you again to my guest. Thank you to everyone here at the studio, and good night.